Alright, we're moving on to the commandments. That's the only thing left, like, I haven't read other than the, alphabet. So, 379. Alright, first commandment. The Bereshit bar, alkalim, or the, beginning with the creator of the, in the beginning of the creator of the in the beginning, the Creator created the first mitzvah or commandment, the rule, the foundation, everything with the fear of the Creator, the Bereshit. Beginning of this written for the Creator, beginning with the wisdom for the faith for the Creator, for the beginning of the wisdom for the wisdom, for the fear is called the beginning of this gate, for the lead, the faith, the whole world is based on the commandment. If the difficulty to understand is why there are few called the beginning and the why, the precise wisdom of the faith of the zohar answers it is because the fear is beginning with the every sephirah or light with the God is obtainable to the except for the property without the first attaining the property of fear. Yes, it is implied for the fear is merely means that in attaining through the qualities of the property, therefore there is only mercy when then with including the list of commandments of the first commandment can it be there fear is kind of the prerequisite. Therefore the Zohar says it is impossible to attain perfect selfless faith in any way throughout the fear of the Creator, exempt with the fear with the determined consent of the faith. Here the whole world is based on the commandment of the fear. The whole world exists on the think of the Torah and the commandment, as the prophet said, if not in my union with the day and night, I have not yet appointed an ordinance for the heaven and earth, as it said. And since fear the fear of the game of the gate of the fear, commandment for the fear of also for the gate of fear, the whole world is based on the property of the fear, and has been hence written the fear, the commandment of the fear includes all the other commandments of the Torah, whether it not be fear of the Creator would have not been created anything. There are three types of the fear, the two of which have no real basis, but one of the demand of the fear of the children may die, the fear of illness, bodily suffering, and the fear of material well-being, the kind of fear, even inconstant, it is not based for the root, the only desirable consequent constitute for the cause of the fear. This type of the fear is called the fear of punishment of this world. There's no other type of the fear of punishment in this world and to come in hell. Those type of the fears of the fear of punishment in this world and the world that came and the world to come do not constitute real basis or root. The real fear is the fear of the Creator. He is greater, almighty, for the years forth that everything else is nothing compared to Him. Man, it should be concentrate with all his attention on attaining this kind of fear. Three kinds of fear before the Creator, but only one of them is kind of the true fear of the one who is afraid of the Creator. Observe that His commandments, so that his or her children also will be prosperous. And the constitute of the first kind of fear of the various punishment in the world. Observe the Creator of the commandment. The fear is the punishment in hell. The second kind of fear of the Zohar says neither of these two kinds is true. The man observe the commandment of the fear of punishment of his own fear, sake, not because of the Creator's beyond commandment. In this case, his personal well-being is covered the observances that is merely consequent of his received lesser rather than true fear of the must stamp of the Creator's great infinite potency, for he rules over all the eight of the source of everything, all the words emerge from him, and his deeds to testify his greatness, all that he is greater with nothing compared to him, that is for adding nothing to him. His complaint, thus we complain, see, leave, that there are no difference in action, one observe the out of it, the second of kind of the fear, while others observe the out of it, the third kind. To unlook there perform the same of the action of the Creator's commandment, the enormous difference between them lies only in the intention therein, motivation by the observer of the Creator's degree. Hence it is impossible to discern the spiritual degree by the external observance of the commandment, which is visible to all, or more over than those who observe them in order and immediately reward those usually do with the utmost outward zeal, but one whose intention of the thought was directed inwardly, whose true observance of the rule does not stand out of the midst of the masses, and in a way once most commonly seek to perfect the complement his intentions only with observing the commandment that increase the deeper level while focusing inner contemplation direction of the thoughts. In no way should he engage the excessive mechanical observance on which the clear prohibition do not exaggerate in the commandment. On the contrary, one must devote all his attention to the attainment of the truth, the fear of the Creator, of the first commandment decrees, the Rabbi Baruch shall fear of the Creator is on the constant self, the desire that is expressed in the thought that I have done everything that I could for the Creator, or this anything more than I can do for Him. Rabbi Shimon started to weep and wailing for woe if we are reveal woe, and if we don't reveal, I say the sinners will know how to work for the Creator's sake. If you do not say, we will not reach my friends, whatever that is true fear with the opposite, with the corresponding below the sand, evil fear with the striking, and will strike, prosecute with the scourge, with the whips, and sentence with the punishing them for their sins. This is why they are afraid to reveal it, for the sinners may learn how to avoid punishment, and punishment constitute their correction. Hereby, Rabbi Shimon warns that they cannot reveal everything in its entirety, but it refers to the Avad Lishma, or the work of the Creator's sake, but the fears that may harm the sinner. Here he wishes to reveal one who can draw nearer in his merge with the tree of life, therefore refrain from the touching with the tree of death. However, refers that only those who are already corrected with themselves with regard to themselves with the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Nevertheless, the sinners who yet correct their transgression with the tree and the knowledge of good and evil are not entitled to know this, for they are still not entitled to all required of the task of them until they correct themselves in the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Thus is you see that the Torah defines the sinner as one who is yet to correct the tree of knowledge, and his whole prohibition revealed the true essence of the work of the Creator. It is based on the words of the Torah. Behold, that Adam becomes one of us in knowledge of the good and evil, knowing that lets he put forth his hand and take also the tree of life and eat and live forever. And Adam sinned for the tree of knowledge of the Creator, banished him from the garden of evil to prevent Adam from connecting with the tree of life with the gaining of the internal life. This is because then when he corrupted in the tree of the knowledge was remained uncorrected, therefore left only the righteous knowledge of the wisdom of the Rabbi Shimon reveals it in the way of all allusion. But he who fears the punishment, the whipping, the true fear of the Creator cannot be descended upon him. Instead, evil fears overtakes him in the form of the fearing punishment by whipping. Therefore, he that plays for the name fear of the Creator is called at the beginning of the knowledge. This is why the commandment is included in here, and is the foundation source of all the other commandments of the Torah. And whoever observes the commandment of the fear of the Creator, there observes all the others. But who does not observe the commandment of the fear of the Creator, does not observe the other commandments of the Torah. This, for the commandment constitutes the foundation for all the others. Here the Zohar repeats that only the place of the written for the fear of the Creator at the beginning of the wisdom, while any other starts with the fear of the Creator at the beginning of the knowledge. And the Zohar explains where the property of the fear ends and another evil fear begins, while in slanders and whips, and in regard with the consent of the Kabbalah, the legs of the pure par mitzvah, the pure spiritual heaven of man descends to a place in impure forces. However, when who observe the commandment of the fear of the Creator, the Creator of the Almighty unites them, because the equal to the Creator in his property, also know not to feel shame of the receiving of him beside with the discretion. No other world exists for his creatures. This is called the fear of the Creator for the sake of life. For the result of the merging with the Creator, creating with the other wife, they will fill with the power of the restriction of the first restriction, restrict with the reception of the light of the egoistic desire, such as the soul, because of the course of the death for impurity, empty place of it devoid of light, and hence the Creator must fear for the failing of the corrections that they were entrusted with. However, they were observed the commandment out of fear rather than out of the realization of the Creator's greatness, for this decree of the rule and whipped by the fear of the empty of the man, and since the end of the fear lies in the evil scourge of the true of the fear, is called the beginning of the knowledge of the fear of the Creator, which indicates the necessity to aspire only to the end of the fear. Beware of the evil kind, because of this Adam's sin is corrected. And therefore it is written in the beginning, signified the fear of the Creator is, and then the Creator in the heaven and the earth, for whomsoever the transgress all the Torah, the commandment, his punishment, the evil scourge, evil fear with what whips him, the words, and the earth was unformed, and chaotic, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirit of the Creator, and then refers to the punishment of the wicked. Without the form refers to the strangulation of the chaotic, refers to the stoning, and then the stones that fall into the great deep of the punishment, the sin of the darkness, signify the burning of the fire of the fall upon the heads of the wicked to burn them down. The spirit of the Creator refers to beheading those who observe the commandment of the fear before the Creator of not possess because of such the decree of the covenant is afraid of the punishment fall into the being pure force the trapped and called without the form. As a result, they are lost and having no understanding of the Creator thoughts with the deeds of the impure force that is defined as a rope with man's neck, blocking the inflow of the pure of the holy air to the soul, and preventing them from gaining life, and is content with the man's ignorance of the impure force of strangulation of him. And when he caught with his impure forces, and was tightening around his neck, it is power to control a man, and it will, and his stone to burn with the behead of the man. Stones meaning the impure thoughts that befall his head and desire pleasure, then pulling him down in the deep, they punish him with the darkness of the burning of the impure forces to turn him into the fierce fire until he burns all the pure life force out of him. Or the spirit of the Creator means beheading with the scorching of when Rahu says, yes, a flaming sword punishment of whatsoever that do not observe the Torah, the commandment with the bench of the commandment of the fear and call with the foundation includes the commandment that is because of the written after the word, beginning of the signify the fears and written without the form of the chaos and darkness and spirit, all four penalties of death, then following the rest of the Torah and commandment. Following these sentences of the Torah, the remaining part of the Torah refers to the rest of the commandment, where the particular regard for the general and all-inclusive commandment of fear. Alright, your second commandment.